the most dangerous thing that I see coming. I say dangerous. It can also be a very good thing if you know how to use it and if you understand what is going on behind it, is the landing. So you land against your money. You have to be very careful. The risk of the landing platforms is not just that they can be shut down. One of the main risks is that the Bitcoin price or the price of your asset is going down so heavily that you're getting liquidated. It's like a margin call. It's like you would trade with leverage. Imagine you have, let's say, 10,000 Bitcoin, 10,000 euros or dollars in your account. So you can usually borrow 4,000 or 5,000, depending on your loan to value ratio, depending on the asset and depending on the lending platform, how they classify the risk. So let's say you can borrow half of it. And you have done that at a level, let's say at the moment, it would be at the moment. So you have your collateral there and you have a Bitcoin price of, let's say, 107,000. You have a value of $10,000 in your account. You borrow $5,000 and then suddenly the Bitcoin price goes down to 80,000. What will happen then is if you have borrowed all that you can borrow, you are already at a quite critical level. If the price then drops even more, it is possible that the platform will actually slowly execute you. What I've been telling you in one of my other videos is that it can happen to you that actually they are liquidating you slowly, but they are liquidating you slowly like every 5 minutes. And after 1 hour or half an hour, all your account, all your assets is gone. So you borrowed basically $5,000, but at the end, it cost you $10,000 because you lost all your assets. And if this is bigger amounts, this can really hurt. It can also be very beneficial to borrow money. In the other perspective, which is at the moment, your yearly gains, just looking at Bitcoin, are around 60%. Over the last year, I think it was 140%, but on an average, I don't know if this is a 5-year average or 10-year average. On average, your Bitcoin makes you 60%. So if you manage to do it very clever and you're not worrying about the third-party risk that the exchange could be shut down or your lending platform could be shut down at any minute, and you're also aware of the fact that somebody, some entity, some government or the exchange or the lender itself could just lock you out or block you for whatever reason, then when you do it clever, meaning that your loan to value ratio keeps very low, so that in our case, the price could maybe go to 50 or 40,000 to a level which is very, very unlikely that the asset will go. You really need to play it very, very safe. The levels have to be very low. Then you could say it is actually quite a clever strategy. You can, so to say, borrow money for nothing if you manage to play the game right. That would mean that you're not borrowing maybe at the beginning, you borrow very little amounts. That could be you have $20,000 there, you borrow 5,000. Still you have this 20,000 there, and in 1 year they should be 30,000. So you make like 10,000, you've just borrowed 5. So you're still 5 in profit, even that you have borrowed 5,000. The other advantage of borrowing is that in most of the countries. I don't know if there's a country where you have to pay tax on money that you're lending. It's all possible. Now we have unrealized capital gains tax in some of the countries coming. But what I want to say is also from a tax perspective, you don't have to worry much because you're borrowing it from the platform. It works in a way that you can decide on most of the platforms. Do you want to borrow stable coins or do you want to borrow fiat money? And if you want to borrow fiat money, you have to put in your contact details. The majority of the platforms will just send you the money to your bank account if your account information on the lending platform matches the name on your bank account. Then they will send it to your bank account and you will just receive the fiat money. You will receive your dollars or euros or whatever they are available, whatever they can send you. And this is usually very fast. It can happen within 10 minutes or 1 hour, depending on the region and the banks. You have it in your account and you can spend it with your card. You can also send it, if you have like a crypto card, you can also send stable coins to your crypto card and then basically spend it through your crypto card. What you could also do is you could lend some money, buy some assets at a low point. This is quite a risky strategy, but if you manage to get into a project when there's extreme greed in the market, for example, extreme fear, then price goes up, maybe doubles. You sell the portion that you actually have profit, and then you convert it to a stable coin again, and you can send it back to your lending platform. So you're reducing the borrowed asset, you're reducing the borrowed money, and still your Bitcoin is getting more and more valuable over the years. So this is a very good strategy, but please be very careful. This is not easy to do. It sounds very easy, but we are underestimating what can happen in the market. Sadly, it is enough that a huge downside wick will appear. We see that oftentimes the extremist situation I have really seen is when some months ago, Ethereum went down so extremely. And if you look at the daily chart, you will just see an enormous wick just going down. I don't know what the level was. I think it was, 1,700 or some very, very extreme level. Ethereum coming from around, I think it was 3,000 or something like that. So this knocked out lots of people. A lot of very experienced people lost money, even people that have been having leverage trades open from 2022 lost basically the Ethereum positions. And this can happen to you also with your lending asset. Be very careful about that. 1 second or one big wick can be enough for the exchange, for the lender to liquidate you. The problem is they're running some kind of oracle. So basically a oracle or some algorithm in the background will do everything. So even if you ask them what happened, they're not too sure most of the time what happened. So when they just say, it's the oracle or the algorithm decided there's so and so much risk, so they automatically liquidating your asset. Be very careful about that.